Hello and welcome to Experience Realty. My name is Tarun. Infrastructure is much more important than architecture. This is something that His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and the government of Dubai realized at an early stage in the metamorphosis of Dubai. Now, the unique location of Dubai, which has been the seaport to the world for the last 5 decades and the airport to the world for the last 2 decades, this location is of primal importance because Dubai gives you access to 76% of the world population within 8 hours of flying time, and this 76% of the world population represents 53% of the world's GDP. Now, when the pursuit of the crude gold, that is oil, was on in the capital in the 1958, and Dubai's own pursuance of the liquid gold saw fruition only until 1966. Now, this ruler back then, Sheikh Rashid, he was a visionary as well. He realized the importance of this unique geographical location and came up with the concept of a port and an airport. Okay. Now, the subsequent announcement and execution of this port and airport project, it set a flurry of trade and commerce activity in these areas. Okay. Now, trade and commerce activity historically create jobs. Yeah. Now, when there are jobs created, the population starts to implode. With the implosion of the population comes the requirement of infrastructure in the form of schools, colleges, hospitals, residential real estate, commercial real estate. So what you need to understand is that a subsequent and a substantial project like a port and airport also increases the accessibility and connectivity, okay? Often transforming remote areas into sought after locations and boosting the property prices in these areas, yeah? Hypothetically, let's say if I were to tell you that I will do the most fancy shamancy villa in the midst of the Al Awir desert, will there be any takers? The answer is a resounding no. However, if I were to do the same villa with state-of-art roads, okay, metro connectivity, malls, hospitals, schools, then we will have a bidding war at hand. Now, past is history. That water has already gone under the bridge. We cannot bring it back. Future is mystery. We cannot predict it. Yes, we can, analyze and, come to a projection, but we cannot really predict it. Now is a gift, and hence it's called the present. So delving in the present, the scope of this video is to impress upon you where the government is investing substantially and significantly in infrastructure related projects and how you, by investing in those projects, can make the most out of your investment decision. All right. Also, another important aspect which I want to highlight during the duration of this video is why is it that the ultra high net worth individuals, the high net worth individuals today are targeting Dubai as an investment destination, or for that matter, even as a second home, or they want to call it their primary home as well. If you look at studies, 60% of the ultra high net worth and high net worth individuals today want to make Dubai their primary residence. And why is it that these guys who are so well rooted, doing well for themselves, are established, would want to uproot their life and relocate to a new country? The answer is very simple. This city offers them what their current residence is not offering, and in lieu of that, they make this substantial and significant decision of relocating to Dubai. So the scope of this video is to impress on you the infrastructure related projects which the government of Dubai is undertaking, and why is it that everyone in the world today is vying to relocate to Dubai. So stay with me and experience immense clarity. A quarter of the 125,000 cranes of the world dotted the skyline of Dubai in the early part of the century. Now, this infrastructure-related growth has led to a series of transformative projects which have added to the lure of the emirate. Today, major global players favor the emirate in lieu of the constant evolution in the realm of providing a state-of-art ecosystem backed by seamless infrastructure, stable economy, and the ease of doing business. If I were to tell you, the IMF has given Dubai a rank of number 19 out of 199 countries for ease of doing business. And this emirate also has the number 1 rank in the Middle East for ease of doing business. Now, this speaks leaps and bounds about where we are headed. Yeah. Now, another important aspect for you to understand is that all of these factors have cumulatively propelled Dubai to be the number 1 HQ FDI destination in the world, which means headquarters foreign direct investment destination. Dubai, for a second year in a row, bagged the number 1 spot for the HQ FDI projects. A total amount of 60 projects were bagged by the Emirates in 2023. And if I were to tell you that a total amount of 30.1 billion dirhams came to the Emirate by these projects, yeah. Now, another important aspect when we're talking about foreign direct investments is the greenfield projects, yeah. Now, if I talk about the greenfield projects, Dubai last year in 2023 again bagged a total of 1,070 greenfield projects, okay, greenfield FDI projects, yeah, and the second place went to Singapore with 442 projects, which is almost 142%, and the third spot went to London with 430 projects, which means 148%. So you can very well imagine today, Dubai is on the top of the list for anyone who wants to set up a major headquarter in the region, okay? Now, a greenfield project or a greenfield FDI project, what does it entail? It entails an entity coming into a city, okay, setting up a headquarter, building from the ground up, okay, hiring locally, transferring the knowledge, the know-how, and then going out about operating their business. Now, what does this do? This creates economic growth, or rather it propels economic growth. How? By creating jobs, okay? Now, very simple. Jobs translate into population growth. Population growth spurns the demand for more infrastructure, okay? More infrastructure means more real estate, okay? And in order for me to make it simple for you, there is a direct relationship between infrastructure and real estate. One spurns the other. So as I showed you, job creation leads to population growth. Population growth needs more infrastructure, and more infrastructure means more real estate. So there is a direct relationship between the two. Now, another important aspect which I wanted to delve on was, if you look at Dubai today, why is it that it is such a magnet for the ultra high net worth and the high net worth individual across the globe? And if the 9% population increase between 2019 and 2023 is anything to go by, then there is one reason which really motivates people to relocate to Dubai, and that is the safety and security that this emirate provides you, okay? Now, it might seem a very basic and a given thing, but safety and security does play an important part in relocation of people. Now, if I were to tell you, Dubai today is currently ranked number 5 on the Numbeo survey last year, okay? UAE on the whole is on number 2, and Dubai actually got outwitted by the capital, which bagged the number 1 spot for safety and security, followed by Ajman, and then you have Dubai on the number 5 spot. Now, there is an amazing ability and resilience in this city. If I tell you the way we cope up with calamities, for example, I will take you back in this year where we had a deluge, a downpour of 250 mm of rainfall in a single day. Now, we had the city up and running after 3 years. After 3 days, After 3 days, we had the city up and running, okay? Now, with the same amount of rainfall, precisely 250 mm, I do not want to name the cities of the world, it took them almost a year to get the city up and running. To get the same level of population back, it took them a year. Now, we did it in 3 days. Now, that speaks how leaps and bounds about how we address emergencies, yeah? Now, another important thing which I would like to, again, I'm going back in time, but if we look at the pandemic, how Dubai held the pandemic, how Dubai held its fort, and we held the largest exhibition or the largest expo known to mankind. 24 million visitors over the 6 months of the duration of the expo. Now this again shows you the resilience of this city. Yeah. So people, they understand the aspect of safety, and when they are relocating, they always have this playing an important part in the relocation decision. The safety and security aspect of Dubai, which also is a part of the infrastructure, stems from the exceptional policing done by our police, the Dubai police, okay, who attend to emergencies and any situation in record time. Now, if I told you earlier that the number 5 spot in terms of the safest city to be living in the world, we would not have been in this situation without our exceptional police. So a big kudos to Dubai police for keeping us safe and stable in the midst of the chaos that we have found ourselves in the past. Again, delving on infrastructure. Another important aspect of infrastructure which we cannot do without is the education and healthcare infrastructure. Yeah. Now, Dubai is a fairly young city. We are around 25 to 30 years old, give or take. Whatever you have seen around us has been created in this time frame. Okay. Now, understand 25 to 30 years, and I can tell you this young city has a plan for everything. Okay. Now, when I talk about education and healthcare, let's focus on healthcare first. If I say that today Dubai ranks in the top 5 cities in the world in terms of healthcare infrastructure, a survey done by Medical Tourism Index, okay, which ranks Dubai in the top 5 cities in the world in terms of healthcare infrastructure. If I tell you today that Dubai boasts 4,609 healthcare facilities, which consist of 52 hospitals, and with the government making it easy and probably incentivizing healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses to flock to the Emirates by giving them long-term golden visas, then the government has already given the initiative to the private sector to be more bullish, and you will have 5 new hospitals which will be gracing the Emirates by 2025. So on the healthcare front, we are top-notch. Okay. Now, when it comes to education, I'm sure you have heard it many times from me and my colleagues. We have something called D33 Economic Agenda and the S33 Social Agenda, which focuses majorly on education. Now, when I'm talking about education, our city today boasts 220 schools, 65 colleges for a population of 3.77 million, which is incredible. We offer you 18 curriculums, which we are presently giving to 180 nationalities in Dubai. Now, with innovative projects like Dubai Schools, which also focuses on providing amazing world-class education on a limited budget, Dubai very soon will be on top, or rather in the top 5 cities in the world when it comes to education infrastructure as well. Because earlier, the two aspects that I mentioned, that is D33 Economic Agenda and the S33 Social Agenda, they focus majorly on education. Okay, so we have a target of bringing the big wigs of the education world to Dubai. Now, if I talk about IITs, IIMs, Harvards, Yales, they are all being pursued by Dubai to come and set up their bases in the city. So on the healthcare and education front, this is why people again favor this city to relocate to. And if the 12% of school enrollment which went up in a single year is a yardstick to go by, then Dubai is making all the right moves on the education infrastructure front. Now, in order to incentivize you, motivate you, and have you riveted to your screens to continue watching this documentary of a video and expend one of the most vital aspects of your life, that is your time, to continue to watch, I'm going to give you a glimpse of the infrastructure projects that happened in the past and how they affected the prices of the developments around them. Okay, so we are going to go back and see what were the 3 infrastructure projects, although the list is long and exhaustive, but I'm just gonna delve on 3 projects. Not delve actually, I'll just give you a glimpse of how it affected the prices and how people who invested early on around these infrastructure projects which were undertaken by the government at that time, how is it that they have made a killing out of this investment decision. So let's start with the first project, which I will give you a glimpse of now. Now, as I told you, I will take you into the past to give you a glimpse of some of the transformative infrastructure projects and how they affected prices around the development. There is none other than catches my attention than the Dubai Red Metro Line. Now, when inaugurated in 2009, Dubai Red Metro Line served 9 stations, okay? Today, the metro network spans 49 stations with a track length of 74.6 kilometers. Now, a very interesting study by the global real estate advisor CBRE, where they found out how properties around the metro outperform the wider real estate market in Dubai, both in terms of prices as well as rental yields. Now, they conducted a survey which spanned over a time frame of Q1 2010 until Q4 of 2022. Okay, so the average appreciation of properties general was 24.1% during this time frame. Okay, but the properties within 15 minutes of walk time to the metro appreciated by 26.7%. So imagine, within 15 minutes of travel time to the metro, the properties appreciated by 26.7%. However, the highest appreciation was seen in the category which was 10 to 15 minutes travel time to the metro. The prices went up by 43.8%. That's astounding, yeah? Similarly, if you look at the rental returns, then CBRE conducted another survey between 2018 Q1 to Q4 of 2022. And guess, the results were startling. During 2018 to 2022, the rental yields fell by 4.1% all across the market, but properties within 15 minutes of travel time to the metro, the rentals went up by 5.7%. Yeah? Again, the highest growth was seen in the category which was 10 to 15 minutes of travel time to the metro. Here, the prices went up by a whopping 11.7%. Now that signifies investments done in line with the vision of the government, done in line with substantial infrastructure around, always will give you phenomenal returns and exponential appreciation. So Dubai Metro proves the case in point. Now my second example will be this very road where we are shooting this video. Now, if there is any example, that can establish the direct relationship between properties and infrastructure and prices, then there is nothing better than Sheikh Zayed Road. Yeah, this is the largest road in the entire UAE. Okay, it connects Dubai to the capital, and in Dubai alone, it spans 55 kilometers. Now, if I were to tell you that this road is home to the tallest tower in the world, Burj Khalifa, it is home to the swankiest malls, you name it, Dubai Marina Mall, Mall of the Emirates, Dubai Mall, all are on this very road. Besides that, if you think about it, Dubai Metro Line, again on Sheikh Zayed Road. Yeah, the Red Metro Line, the most iconic one. Now understand, as I told you earlier, if there is any example that can establish the direct relationship between property prices and infrastructure, then it is this. This is the home to prime real estate in Dubai. The development on this road, however, has reached a stage where there is barely land parcels left. And in lieu of that, the prices can be astronomical. So villas in proximity and with access to Sheikh Zayed Road, something like Emirates Hills, can go up to 60 million all the way until 150 million dirhams. If I were to talk about apartments, then the penthouse, which I spoke about earlier in the Billionaires Row, draws a significant amount of its 50 million USD value because of the proximity and access to this very road. So, understand again, significant infrastructure in terms of roads always does two things. It increases accessibility and improves connectivity, and thereby locations which are remote become prime, desirable, and the property prices always go up. So invest in line with the vision of the government, invest where the government is investing in doing infrastructure, and you will have a property that will have no limits. Now, the last but not the least is another noteworthy mention, a fairly recent phenomena again, where by doing a strategic infrastructure project, we had a phenomena being coined. So let's go and explore this phenomena now. Still delving in the past, as I mentioned earlier, this is the third project which I'm going to give you a glimpse of. Again, happened in the past. Yeah. So this is Dubai Water Canal. Now, many questioned the merits of this project, which had an outlay of around 2.7 billion dirhams. Okay, there were a lot of naysayers. Why do we really need to do this? This means disrupting the city technically. Why? Because Dubai Water Canal passes from under the Sheikh Zayed Road, which happens to be the busiest road in the city. So this was the magnitude of this project. Now, this is something that Dubai again pulled off with aplomb, without any disruption of any sort. So today we are talking about a new statement or a new term that has been coined for the Dubai Water Canal projects. It is called the Billionaire's Row, where a penthouse transacted for $50 million. Okay, coveted projects on the water canal today transact anywhere between 4,500 to 5,500 dirhams per square foot. Now that's immense value creation. Besides the immense value creation, Dubai Water Canal also helps Dubai to bridge the substantial gap that exists on the waterfront, where the demand is high but the supply is teeny weeny. Okay, so imagine 9,000 residential real estate units will be added to the existing supply of the market. Okay, and Dubai Water Canal will be home to 4 hotels. So 900 hotel rooms will also be added to the existing hotel inventory, thereby helping us to bridge the gap between the demand and the supply. Further, Dubai Water Canal will also be having 450 restaurants. Imagine the kind of revenue that will be created from these. So in a nutshell, Dubai Water Canal was a project which Dubai pulled off with aplomb. Okay, considering the odds that we were against, where you had the busiest road and this canal had to pass under that road, and Dubai managed to do that in the most seamless possible way. So I'm sure by now, having discussed these 3 projects, you understand that if I am telling you to invest in line with the vision of the government, invest where infrastructure is taking shape, you can very well understand how you can create immense value for yourself by doing strategic investment like this. So let's go ahead and see what are the future projects, infrastructure projects backed by the vision of the government where you should be investing. Having delved in the past to bring you up to speed with me, now is the time when I'm going to let the cat out of the bag and give you an insight on some of the most substantial infrastructure projects that are taking shape in the city, and how you, by taking a strategic decision, by investing in or around an area where the government is invested heavily, you can get a property which will only have one growth trajectory, which will be above and beyond. So the first substantial infrastructure project, which not many have ever spoken about or touched, to my surprise, I'm going to let you in on this phenomena which is taking shape in Dubai, which is called the Dubai Traders Market. Now, what is this Dubai Traders Market? Why do you need to understand, and why is it that I'm telling you that this is going to be substantial? So just to give you a perspective, Dubai is all about logistics, transport. The geographical location of Dubai gives people connectivity to the broader world, okay, where traders can access Middle East, broader Middle East, North Africa, Africa, Europe, and even America. All of this is easy and accessible from Dubai's unique location. Now, the area that I'm talking to you about has the largest airport in the world taking shape, which is 15 minutes away from here, Al Maktoum Airport. You have the third busiest and the third largest port in the world in the shape of Port Jebel Ali, which is already operational and is a major contributor to the gross domestic product. And then you have the Etihad Rail, which is passing through this area and will have a stopover at DIC. So imagine, for logistics, this infrastructure is very important and it's already in place. Now, what is the new Dubai traders market? So this is the first of its kind smart free zone market in the entire region. If I tell you the astounding size of this market, it is 800,000 square meters. That's huge. Okay. Now, the outlay, if we discuss the outlay on this market, you're talking about an astounding $3.5 billion. That is the outlay on this market. Okay. As of today, the market is 200,000 square meters operational, which is a joint venture or a collaboration between China Commodity City Market, also known as Yiwu Market, and Dubai. So imagine 650 million dirhams have already been invested. 1,600 stores today are operational, along with 324 warehouses. Now, what is so unique about this market is that it is a seamless bond between retail and warehousing. So the shops have a warehouse attached to them. So there is no delays. You have your stock right with you where you can trade and sell it to whoever wants to buy it. Now, understand, since this happens to be a free zone, the incentive for the traders is no corporate tax, full ownership, 100% repartition, and in fact, the government is even allowing you to hire people from wherever you want to hire. It is not necessary that you hire locally. Now, how is it that this market is going to propel Dubai to the next level? Now, if I go back to the D2033 economic agenda, we know that foreign trade needs to be grown in order for us to double our economy. So over the last decade, Dubai's foreign trade was around 14.2 trillion dirhams. Yeah. Now this is going to go up 25.6 trillion dirhams in the next 10 years. And markets like this would play a substantial part in propelling our foreign trade to the next level. So understand and imagine who are the biggest trade partners, the non-oil trade partners for Dubai. It happens to be none other than China and India. China with a trade of around $67.8 billion and India with a trade of $51.4 billion with Dubai happen to be the biggest trade partners. And this market, the first phase is with Yiwu. The second phase, which is another 100,000 square meters, which will be operational by 2025, will mark the arrival of Bharat Mart, where you will have 1,500 new stores opening. Imagine this market, when it's fully completed, it will host 20,000 traders. Now, these traders are allowed to sell locally, okay? But if they do local sales, they have a custom duty to contend with. But if they do not do local sales and they use this only as a logistical hub to trade elsewhere, then there is zero custom duty as well. Understand the immense scope of the project, where the investment to the tune of $3.5 billion. If I tell you Burj Khalifa, the outlay on Burj Khalifa was around $1.5 billion. The outlay on the upcoming Creek Tower is around $1 billion. Now this happens to be Burj Khalifa plus Creek Tower plus another Burj Khalifa. That is the implication or the size of this investment, and how you, by investing into an area which has everything running, as I was telling you earlier, you have the airport, upcoming airport, 15 minutes away. The port is 10 minutes away. You will have connectivity from Etihad Rail, which will have a stopover in DIC. And then imagine you have the iconic red metro line already operational here. So all the infrastructure is there. And besides, across the road, what is taking shape? Across the road, the most sustainable city, a 15-minute city, is already taking shape in the form of Expo. Yeah. So as I told you earlier, so Dubai World Traders Market is one of the phenomena which I'm going to cover, okay? And what are the projects that are taking shape around Dubai Traders Market, okay? Where can you invest? What are the projects? So my opinion would be that the first project that you should contemplate when you're talking about this traders market would be the Expo City, okay, which is just across the road. Then Emaar is coming up with 3 new projects which are in close proximity to the traders market. So imagine, I'm going to talk to you about the Oasis. I'm going to talk to you about, the Heights Country Club and Wellness. And I'm going to talk to you about the polo club and resorts, which are going to be unveiled by Emaar. The dates are subject to when the developer wants to launch them. But we will superficially cover these projects so that you have an understanding and you are ready. Come the day of the launch, you will know what is it that you want to pursue. And the government could not have made it more clearer by doing an investment like this, where two of its most strategic partners, where the government has the maximum amount of foreign trade with, the biggest allies of Dubai, these two countries, China and India. I mean, if I were to talk about the relation between India and Dubai, then I would say that Dubai happens to be the best city of India outside of India, And if we were to have an election, a virtual election held in Dubai, then probably Prime Minister Modi will definitely win, because all the Indians here would vote for him, would definitely vote for Mr. Modi. So now understand, let's go ahead and look at some of the projects which will benefit immensely from being in close proximity to this traders market. Yeah. So the first one that we're going to kickstart with is Expo City, which is just across the road. So allow me to take you to the Expo City. Now, our pursuit of a property option in close proximity to Dubai traders market and two other significant and substantial infrastructure projects that are taking shape in the south brings me here to Expo City. Now, what you need to understand about Expo is that if a community is targeting LEED Gold certification for construction, they're targeting a BREEAM Excellence certification for public realm and infrastructure. And when I tell you again that they're targeting a Fitwel Gold certification for health and health-related amenities in a community, then there are no parallels for a product like this in Dubai real estate market. And that again is a big statement. So what was stellar has been propelled to a level beyond stellar, by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum when he announced the extension, or when he revealed the new master plan for the Expo City 2 weeks ago. Now, we understand that the Expo is a very unique product. Why? Because all the infrastructure in this community is up and running. It's a reverse engineered community. If you look at the Expo today, it represents something which does not exist in any community in Dubai real estate market. Now here you have the iconic Red Metro line, and as I told you earlier, properties along the Red Metro line, 10 to 15 minutes walk time. You understand the figures of appreciation, you understand the rental returns. So this is a big USP. It is up and running. Then here you have the Emaar operated mall, which will be gracing the Expo. The entire structure is ready. Probably it will be up and running by 2026. We do not have a set date as such, but understand an Emaar operated mall. Then here, this structure that you're looking at on the camera right now, you're talking about the largest exhibition center in the region. As of today, this exhibition center spans around 54,000 square meters. Yeah, but with the extension of 10 billion dirhams, it will expand and go up to 182,000 square meters, making it the biggest in the region. As of today, World Trade Center hosts around 300 events. This would go up to 600 here. So imagine 600 events. The revenue generated from here would go from 18 billion dirhams to 54 billion dirhams. Imagine the footfalls. Imagine the World Trade Center today does 1.06 million visitors. 65% happen to be overseas. What is going to happen here when this is fully up and running? Then, if you move on further, as I told you, a lot of new definition has been added to this resplendent model of the Expo City, where now this model is divided into 5 districts. Now these 5 districts, they are based on a grid which improve connectivity, accessibility and mobility within the master plan. This master plan is designed in conjunction with UN Studio from Amsterdam. They have retained 80% of the fabric and spirit of the Expo. So, like all the major infrastructure from the Expo has been retained. Now, when we start talking about the district, the first and foremost district that I'm going to start with is the Expo Downtown. Now, Expo Downtown is a flourishing community already. Why? Because most of the infrastructure is up and running. So follow my cursor. The Expo Downtown starts from where you have the New Dubai Exhibition Center. It spans all the way, all across here, covering a mass of around 500,000 square meters. That's a lot of space. 500,000 square meters. Out of that, 130,000 square meters is dedicated to F&B and retail. 135,000 square meters dedicated to commercial spaces. It will boast 6,000 apartments and will be home to 20,000 residents. Some of the iconic landmarks which grace the Expo downtown today are the Wassail Dome, the Surreal Water Feature, the Terra or the Sustainability Pavilion, and then in the near future, you will have a floating Terra Garden, which is right here, and then this iconic tower, which will be the tallest building and a very high-end hotel. It is definitely going to be a mixed-use building, which will be residential as well as commercial. So this sums up the Expo downtown. Okay, a thriving community. A major part of it is already existing. Yeah. Now, moving on to the south side of the Expo master plan. If you look at it, the Expo Fields project, it covers all of this, what I'm covering with my cursor right now. Okay. Now, Expo Fields happens to be another major part of Expo. 500,000 square meters in size. Okay. It will be home to around, you can very well imagine, 20,000 residents. Yeah. And it will be a place where you can inculcate a tranquil mind and a healthy body, as the name Fields suggest. So here you have an entire area of a huge area dedicated to sports amenities, outdoor lifestyle, and anything and everything that will motivate you to go and spend time outdoors thinking about your health. Then this also has a school right here. Yeah, this right here, when you see this, it will be a 30,000 capacity open air amphitheater, and then a data center completes the entire equation here, because many companies are not comfortable with putting their data on a cloud. So you have a data center which is a part of this master plan. Then there will also be another important facet. The Aleph Pavilion, which is right here, also happens to be a part of the Fields project. Then you have a mosque which completes the entire project. 25,000 square meters of retails and F&B space will also keep these residents engaged. Now, moving on to the north side of the plan, we have Expo Business, which starts from the Connect Conference Pavilion and goes all the way from here and covers this new amphitheater which will be gracing the Expo. Now, Expo Business is a 210,000 square meter land parcel, yeah, wherein 155,000 square meters of space will be dedicated to commercial activities, and another 55,000 square meters of space would be dedicated to F&B and other activities. Now, important to understand for Expo Business is that will actually add another feather in the cap of the commercial district that is already existing in the Expo. So what is there, we're going to build on it and take it to the next level. So this will be home to the headquarters of DP World. Okay, you will have the IIFT, which will also be a part of the Expo Business, and then you have a 1,500 capacity theater and an art gallery which will also grace the Expo. Besides that, you have a hotel and a hospital which will complete the entire Expo Business District. A noteworthy mention actually would also be this open air amphitheater which spans around 50,000, which has a capacity of around 50,000 people. Now, moving on further, the northernmost part of the Expo, which happens to be accessible from the Expo Road, which I'm highlighting right now, it represents a new master plan which the developer would unravel very shortly, which is called Expo Hills. This is a low-rise and a low-density community consisting of townhouses, villas and apartments. Will be home to 4,000 residents. Not too many details about this are out right now, so no speculation. I want to give you as accurate information as I can. But as you can see that this is a very low-rise, low-density addition to the Expo master plan. And this developer has always had this ethos, that they do not want to build something which is dense. And moving on to the last part of the Expo, which is Expo Valley. Now, this probably was one of the best master villa communities that have been launched in Dubai for a long time. So if you look at the Expo Valley, 650,000 square meters of land parcel, yeah? Only 500 villas and townhouses. Around 200 villas and 300 townhouses. You can very well imagine the density. When I talk about concrete footprint, probably 40%. So that means 60% of land mass is dedicated to open spaces. Then this had some very interesting and innovative concepts running through it. What I would like to highlight would be the concept of folded earth, where the entire community has been uplifted by 10 meters, and then every subsequent row of villas or townhouses is at a different elevation, thereby allowing more circulation, privacy in terms of unobstructed views. And also what it does is it gives the developer more area to plant trees. By the way, 5,000 trees alone will be planted in the Expo Valley, and wherein they would, create a microclimate where you have the temperature in this wadi 4 to 5 degrees lower than the surroundings. Now, look at this. This is what I call the intent of a developer who is not driven by profits. Yeah, I know we are living in a world when everyone wants to make the buck. Yeah, but here the developer has been generous enough to leave you a land parcel which is 300,000 square meters of open landscaped area. Imagine the kind of vistas, imagine the kind of life. So earlier in the master plan, you had only 120,000 square meters, which was left for the villas, in terms of the wadi which they had access to. Now, this happens to be a gated community, which will be gated here, but you have an extension of 200,000 square meters, which is the Expo Forest today. So the Expo Forest basically will have, forest pathways. They will have, adventure play areas, nature walks, and a lot of other detailing that will be given to this project. Now imagine this will be the link between the Expo Valley and the urban part of the community, which represents the Expo downtown and the Expo city in the total. Then my advice and my know-how of Dubai real estate market, I am yet to come across a product which is so driven by quality, by sustainability, and at the same time they are not a mass product. They have kept the quantity to the bare minimum. So controlling the demand and supply situation, where this master plan only has space for 35,000 people living here. So you can very well imagine, if I say 35,000 people, probably if I do the maths, a family of the size of 3 or 4, you're talking about 8,000 or 8,500 residential units only. Now, you can very well imagine when we speak about big master plans, what kind of supply will come there. So here we are talking about something very limited, very exclusive, and in lieu of that limited availability and exclusivity, this is something that you cannot forgo. Imagine a community like this, with everything up and running, state-of-art infrastructure. You are getting to buy in the new launch at 1,920 dirhams per square foot. These Cedar apartments, which are going to be launched by the Expo, where the sizes are class leading. 984 square foot for a 1-bedroom. No developer gives you these sizes, and guess what? The price is only 1.88 million dirhams. So my advice, and I would highly recommend that if you have the bandwidth, go for Expo. In lieu of this being a very limited project and very exclusive, then the other opportunity that you have as of today are some of these plots which are a part of Expo Valley, which you can by all means go for. Why? Because a plot represents a very unique opportunity as opposed to a villa or a townhouse, because the appreciation that you get in the plot will be the maximum, but your risk is always very limited. Buy it, keep it, and when these villas are delivered, you will have an asset which will sell at the same price point at these villas. And imagine villas here on the Wadi are selling at 3,000 dirhams per square foot. So you can very well imagine what you buy today at 1,550 dirhams per square foot has all the potential in the next 1.5 or 2 years to go up to 3,000 dirhams per square foot. Yes, you heard me right. That is technically 100% appreciation. Yeah. Now, with that, I think I've spent a formidable amount of time talking about this amazing master plan where I would say that the opportunities are limitless. So my advice and my opinion, the Expo is a must go. So if you're looking at investing in Dubai real estate market, this should be in the top 2 or the top 3 priorities that you should have on your list of communities to go for. Now, as I said earlier, there are 2 more stellar opportunities which we are going to discuss in the due course of this south side of the infrastructure projects that are happening. So Dubai Traders Market is right here. This is where Dubai Traders Market is across the road from Expo. Mohammed, this is E311. So you have right here the Dubai Traders Market, a $3.5 billion project which will benefit immensely from all of this infrastructure that is the Expo City. So now, the other 2 projects, I'm going to take you to another developer whose legacy precedes them in Dubai real estate, and the 2 new projects that are upcoming with that developer, I think they also represent a very, very significant opportunity. So over to the next sales center, let's go. Now, having covered the Expo extensively, the new master plan definitely needed attention. I also told you that there are 2 more projects that I want you to focus on, actually 3. So I'll reveal the 3rd one as well. It's a surprise for everyone, So the 2 projects that are going to benefit immensely from their proximity to Dubai Traders Market and the entire ecosystem of infrastructure that is taking shape in the south, which consists of Al Maktoum Airport and all those 8 districts which we will discuss eventually in this video. This project, which I'm going to talk about now, Heights Country Club and Wellness. It is a first time foray by Emaar into the realm of wellness, So when I talk about wellness, this community happens to be centered around holistic wellness. So imagine a suburban family haven which focuses on inculcating a tranquil mind and a healthy body, Because nowadays we live in such a world that we do not really care and think, and we do not have time for ourselves. So if your house or your community can actually help you indulge in yourself, nothing like it, So not too many details about this master plan are available as of now, but what I know is by and large is going to be a townhouse and a villa community. The size of this master plan is an astounding 8.1 square kilometers, is huge again. And out of that, 1.36 million square meters or 1.36 square kilometers will be dedicated to open spaces and parks. So you can very well imagine and understand what kind of a lifestyle we're talking about. Now, keeping in sync with the townhouse and villa communities, important for you to understand the demand-supply situation for townhouses and villas. Townhouses today comprise only 8% of the total freehold residential real estate inventory in Dubai, and villas comprise only 5% of that total inventory. So this segment is underserved, And in lieu of that demand-supply situation, you as an investor or as an end user can benefit maximum from entering into these projects. Now this happens to be, or this will be rather, the first launch of the first phase of an Emaar master plan. No better time to get into an Emaar master plan than at this stage. Historically, Emaar projects investing into the first phase of the first launch, definitely you will make a killing out of it, this investment decision. Then, I wanted to give you some more perspective in terms of numbers about villas, So if I tell you that the 4 to 5 million category for villas is the sweet spot which recorded the maximum growth, because in this very segment, the demand is there, it's a lot, but there is no supply. And hence, in lieu of that, 55% increase over the H1 of last year in terms of sales volume. So you can very well understand that what kind of opportunity there is between the 4 to 5 million segment and the other one, even more important, villa categories. Sales off-plan primary market sales shot up from 11.7% to 27.4%, marking a 134% increase H1 compared to the last H1, okay? So a fabulous opportunity is going to come your way. Be sure that you are in sync and you are ahead of time to grasp it, okay? Now, the other project which I'm going to talk to you about now is Grand Polo Club and Resorts. Again, in proximity to Dubai Traders Market, in proximity to the Al Maktoum Airport. Again, the first phase of the first launch of an Emaar master plan will be highly sought after, no points for guessing, yeah? And important, I do not have too many details about this project as of now. All I know is that again, it's going to be a townhouse and a villa community, yeah? And 6 square kilometers is the size of the master plan, and it will be constructed at a net worth of, or rather Emaar's outlay here would be around 40 billion dirhams, yeah? That's a lot of money again. Now, the name, it rings a bell. If I talk to you about a polo themed community, then there is a reference point which is there. Emaar did a polo themed community called Polo Homes, which was a cluster of Arabian ranches, yeah? Today, if you were to go and see the prices of this community, then you're talking about no villa on any portal listed for less than 27 million dirhams. And guess what? These villas in Polo Homes, they were launched at a price of around 5.8 million dirhams. So again, Polo represents an amazing opportunity. Then the third project, which we have covered extensively, me, my colleagues, our company, we really believe in Emaar's vision and we really believe in the oasis, okay? There is nothing like this in Dubai real estate market. No parallels can be drawn. And with Dubai being the apple of the eyes of all the UHNIs and the HNIs of the world, an investment done into the oasis at this stage will definitely be worth a substantial amount of money in the near future. So I think that pretty much sums up the scope of the development and the projects that I, in my humble opinion, feel are worthwhile pursuing in the south, in close proximity to all of that infrastructure and the Dubai traders market. Now is the time to let you in on the next phase of projects which you should be vying to invest into in lieu of the infrastructure fueled growth that will happen in these areas. So let's go and explore these projects. Okay, the next 2 infrastructure projects that I'm going to speak about are related to something that everyone in the world is pursuing Dubai for. That is the waterfront. Dubai's waterfront, or Dubai rather, is fast emerging as the preferred waterfront destination, a vacation destination by the sea. So you understand that the government, which has a Vision 2040, where the government has to expand the waterfront by 400%. Today's Dubai's coastline is around 70 kilometers, but important to know is that out of this, only 27 kilometers is freehold. So waterfront, which is very limited and highly sought after, is being developed by the government extensively. So there are substantial and significant infrastructure projects that are coming along the waterfront of the Dubai, and how by investing around these projects, you can make a killing out of this investment decision. So the first project that I'm going to cover is the Shindhaga corridor. Okay, now the Shindhaga corridor is probably one of the largest road network project taken by the RTA. It is the largest project today. So you know the Al Shindhaga corridor, it spans around 13.7 kilometers along 4 major roads and streets. So you're talking about Sheikh Rashid Road, Meena Road, Al Khalid Street and Cairo Street. So this 13.7 kilometer road network is being developed by RTA. Currently it is in the 4th phase, which is 45% complete. The total outlay by Dubai government on this project is 5.3 billion dirhams. That's astounding, yeah? And what you need to understand is that how is it this going to benefit, you know, the projects that are upcoming. So you're talking about the heritage zone of Dubai, yeah, which is where Dubai started from. This location is the testament to the evolution of Dubai, yeah. So infrastructure here in the heritage zones need upgrading, and I've covered this topic extensively in my past videos, especially the Vision 2040 video. So the government is doing infrastructure upgrades here, and Shindhaga corridor happens to be one of these infrastructure upgrades. Now, what will be the impact and who will get benefited. So from the Shindhaga corridor, the residents of Deira and Bar Dubai will definitely draw immense benefit, but it will also benefit and it will create accessibility, connectivity and ease of transport within the upcoming projects like Maritime City, Mina Rashid or Rashid Yachts and Marina, and Dubai Islands. The travel time to these destinations will be reduced from 116 minutes to under 10 minutes by 2030. Now you can very well imagine this is the type of reduction which the government is aiming at by 2030, and as is evident, work here is in full swing. So Shindhaga corridor and the other infrastructure project which I'm going to take you to now is resplendent, is something so innovative that no one in the world thought that they could pull off something. But in comes Dubai, they always have this habit of embracing change and surprising you. So now let's go and see and explore the other infrastructure projects, and then I will give you a glimpse about where to invest in line with these infrastructure projects. So off we go to the new infrastructure projects. Let's go. Now the second project which is taking shape on the waterfront is something so unique and so sustainable that expect no one else but Dubai to pull off something like this. Yeah. Now, what if I were to tell you that we are planning the largest marine reef development project in the world? Okay. Now, what is this marine reef development project? Actually, it is a pioneering step by Dubai in order to assure and ensure ecological sustainability. Yeah. I'm sure you all understand that Vision 2040, the 2033 economic agenda and the net zero 2050 agenda are all governed by sustainability. It is a major deliverable of all of these agendas. So Dubai always embraces change, okay? And when it comes to change for the better of the emirate or the world, Dubai leaves no stone unturned to make sure that they leave their imprint on that project. So imagine a reef project where we are deploying 20,000 reef modules of different sizes along this resplendent coastline that we have as a gift from God Almighty, okay? 20,000 custom-built reef modules will be deployed along our coastline. Now, these reef projects, what will they do? Besides the carbon sequestering benefits, okay, the benefits of protecting against the rising ocean levels, okay, the reefs will also give a beautiful sight to behold for people who come to Dubai for tourism. This would also encourage ecotourism, yeah? The main aim of the reef project is to increase biodiversity, okay? Imagine an 8-fold increase in the biodiversity of Dubai. So imagine whatever fish we have in the sea today, it would increase by 8-fold. Now, what can be more sustainable than this? We are not talking about developing a fishery to, sustain our population. We are talking about an initiative by the government where we will actually be going and deploying coral reefs in order to get sustainable food source for our population. Now, this is what I call being a good Samaritan. And Dubai has pulled this off with aplomb, where the first reef test module has already been deployed by Sheikh Hamdan and Ray Dalio, the billionaire philanthropist, okay? Now, I told you about the broader objective, biodiversity, protecting against, the rising ocean levels, carbon sequestering. What we need to understand is that the coral reefs the world over are on the wane because of the climate change and the increasing acidity of our oceans. We need to conserve the coral reefs, and in line with that conversation movement, Dubai is going ahead full steam to get this project off going. And remember, 400,000 cubic meters is what will be the eventual size of volume of these reefs once they are fully deployed and active. Now, how is it that this is going to benefit you? Yeah. Okay, it is going to benefit you by protecting you against the rising ocean levels, giving you sustainable food, Besides that, ecotourism will flourish. Imagine this coastline studded with resplendent corals. What kind of a draw it will be for tourists who are visiting Dubai. And who's going to benefit from all of this? Definitely you guys. If you're looking at investing on the waterfront of Dubai, then, the splendid opportunities that you have, they are only going to be propelled by the next level, by projects like the Dubai Reef project. And I don't see, that we can go wrong by doing something like this, because this is an initiative which Dubai has already managed to pull off with aplomb, and everyone is lauding Dubai for taking a measure like this. So, with the two projects covered, now I'm going to show you what are the opportunities, okay? By the way, the first reef module which already was planted is flourishing, and the initial phase of the reefs will start from Palm Jebel Ali, and they will go all along the coast of Dubai. From Palm Jebel Ali, it will come to Jumeirah, from Jumeirah to Pearl Jumeirah, then you have Port de la Mer, and then eventually it will also grace the coastline, which is taking shape on the heritage front of Dubai. Yeah, so the heritage front consists of 3 waterfront properties or waterfront projects: Rashid Yachts and Marina by Emaar, Maritime City, and Dubai Islands. And these are the opportunities which we're going to explore. So let me let you in on the next phase of development that is happening on the waterfront of Dubai. Let's go. The first opportunity that we are going to discuss on the waterfront, where immense and substantial infrastructure is happening in the heritage hub of Dubai, happens to be none other than this residential marina masterpiece by Emaar, which is eponymously named after the founding father of Dubai, Sheikh Rashid. His legacy will live on here. The opportunity that we are speaking about is a one-off. You have the first residential marina masterpiece, or a first master plan by Emaar on the waterfront in Dubai. You are talking about a master plan which spans over 1.56 kilometers. So you can very well understand, when Emaar does communities, they are cities within cities, yeah? So Rashid Yachts and Marina is all encompassing. It will have everything that anyone needs for daily sustenance, yeah? Now, I'm not going to delve too much into the amenities and not going to delve too much about what this community has to offer, because I think a lot of my colleagues and myself have covered this in our initial videos. There will be a link in this video. You can go and refer back to those in case you need more information on the community. What we are here to discuss is, why is this such a unique opportunity? If you look at the waterfront in Dubai, yeah, then entering into the waterfront with a master plan like this, yeah, which is all encompassing, as I said, yeah, you are looking at an entry point of 2,450 dirhams per square foot, which was the price of the last launch which Emaar did on Rashid Yachts and Marina, Pier Point 1, Pier Point 2 and Porto Views. Now this is the second phase. The first phase is already sold out. We are into the second phase of this community. So understand the opportunity. As I said, 2,450 dirhams per square foot. If you want to invest in the waterfront today, the minimum price that you have to contend with buildings which I can pit against this community would be the buildings in Dubai Marina, which are like 5242, Vida Residences, and those are today transacting anywhere between 3,500 to 4,000 dirhams per square foot. So comparing an apple to an apple, you can understand what is the scope of capital appreciation. Here, I am taking the lowest possible amount. With a product like this, if I were to compare this with some of the other established communities like Blue Waters, which is transacting probably at 7,500 dirhams per square foot, or if I were to compare this to Emaar Beachfront, which is only 25 to 30% complete, but today is transacting at 5,500 dirhams per square foot, then, if I want to be very bullish, I could probably compare it to the community which is right next to Rashid Yachts and Marina, none other than Bulgari Island, okay, where prices can go up to 10,000 dirhams per square foot. But let's be conservative and compare it to an Emaar community, Dubai Marina, where good buildings are transacting at 4,000 dirhams per square foot. In close proximity, if I were to compare this to City Walk, again, we are talking about the same kind of price points, 3,500 to 4,000 dirhams per square foot. And herein lies your opportunity to foray into the waterfront of Dubai with Emaar, whose legacy precedes them. So my recommendation, Rashid Yachts and Marina is still in initial phases of development. The first 4 buildings which are right here, which I'm highlighting, Seagate, will be handed over in 2025 September. You can see, I'll show you outside when we go outside, that they are almost completed. Once handovers start happening in the first phase here, you will see the prices going to the next level. The growth trajectory of this community is going to be astronomical. Why? Because nothing like this exists in this entire heritage hub, which is largely leasehold. Even if I were to talk about the business, commercial and financial hub of Dubai, which is downtown, Business Bay and DIFC, there is no project which will be competing with Rashid Yachts and Marina. So here, the opportunity is still immense. Do not be of the mindset that I should have entered Rashid Yachts and Marina here. Yes, it would have been great if you would have entered here, but it still represents a splendid opportunity. The next launch, be ready. It's on you very, very soon. So keep those checkbooks ready. And in case you want more details about Rashid Yachts and Marina, feel free to reach out to me. Now, we are going to go and see the next opportunity where another reputed, renowned developer has come up with a new master plan, which happens to be in close proximity to Rashid Yachts and Marina. And you are entering into the waterfront yet again at the rock bottom, backed by the vision of the government. Remember, 400% expansion of the waterfront. Remember all the projects, the two projects that we discussed earlier on. This is a splendid opportunity. Grab it from the scruff of the neck. You do not get these very often in Dubai real estate market. So let's go and explore the next opportunity. The second project, which I was telling you about, where a developer with a storied past, having delivered some of the most iconic and ultra luxurious developments in the city, is starting a master community or a master plan in close proximity to the business, commercial and financial hub of Dubai, in the heart of the heritage hub of Dubai. And guess who is the developer? None other than Omniyat. Now, Omniyat has given Dubai some of its iconic projects. If I talk about Lana by the Dorchester, which just bagged a ranking into the top 50 hotels of the world. If I talk about the other projects, then you have Opus by Zaha Hadid. The list is long. Here you have a developer who has given an immense or added immense value to the city by its developments and its projects. Yeah. So Omniyat is coming up with a new master plan. The astounding size of this master plan is 13.75 million square feet. That's a big master community taking shape bang on the waterfront of Maritime City. Now, the name of this project is Jumeirah Peninsula. Jumeirah Peninsula will consist of two parts: Jumeirah Bay Peninsula, Jumeirah Peninsula Bay, and Jumeirah Peninsula Gardens. Yeah. The intent of the developer is to create a human-centric city where the focus is on the human, the person. Yeah. How the developer has envisaged this project? The idea is to create a forest with lagoons in the midst of the forest. Yeah. So understand, when the developer says they want to create a forest, they will be planting 2,000 trees in this community. So imagine a bay with lush landscaping of 50,000 square meters merging seamlessly with another 50,000 square meters of landscaping on podiums and verdant vertical parks on top of the buildings. That is what I mean. And then it all links it to the central district, which will boast 100,000 square meters of landscaping. So this is the intent of the developer. Again, you will see in line with the Vision 2040, where 60% of the emirate has to be converted into a nature reserve. So here you have a developer who is following the intent of the government to the T. Yeah. Now, what is the opportunity for you in Jumeirah Bay Peninsula? So just a few weeks back, Omniyat launched a tower, yeah, by the name of Saria, which is the subsidiary company of Omniyat. They're already into development, but Omniyat is restricting itself to ultra luxury. But this is the first time where they are tapping into the luxury segment, which is underserved. And in Saria, today you have an opportunity which again starts at 2,500 dirhams per square foot for views like this. And with Omniyat's pedigree and history of delivering quality, you can very well imagine what is it that I'm talking about. Yeah, 2,500 dirhams per square foot for a one bedroom starting at around 1.65 million. This is a bargain. Now coming back to the master plan, that is Jumeirah Peninsula, you need to understand that Omniyat will be coming up with 22 towers in this development. It will boast 2 marinas. It will have a 5,500 square meter saltwater lagoon. Yeah, there is no beaches in Rashid Yachts and Marina as of now. Probably Emaar at a later stage might bring one, but as of today, this will be the only beach or a huge water feature which is 5,500 square meters in the community. Then there will be 3 iconic towers, all branded by Dorchester. One of them will be of the magnitude of Burj Al Arab. You can very well understand, if we talk about developments of this scale, how they would propel the price of the entire community. This is not the end of it, because the developer also has an intent of developing another iconic tower, which highly likely will be mixed use, will be influenced by Burj Khalifa, and the height, or it'll boast actually 90 stories. So a lot is going to happen on Maritime City. Yeah, there will be a new mall that the developer will be bringing up. This will be the first of a kind when Omniyat is foraying into malls, and with their track record, I can assure you that if they venture into something, they will make sure that they pull it off with aplomb. So Maritime City, or rather Jumeirah Bay Peninsula, in the near future represents that opportunity that you should not let go. Why? Because everything adds up. Infrastructure is happening. You have a developer with a credible record. You have a developer who is bringing up a project which is in sync with the vision of the government. So everything for this development ticks all boxes. And since we are speaking about this project today, you are empowered by the knowledge of this launch. You could be one of those first few people who can attain the maximum benefit by entering into a project in the formative stages. You know the rest, how it works out. So I think now, the last but not the least, there is one phenomenal project on the waterfront which is left, which I'm going to give you a sneak peek into shortly. So just follow me until we hit to the next spot where I will unreveal or unleash the next project to you. The third project that, in my humble opinion, has immense potential, where you are entering into the project at a formative stage where not much has been done, happens to be Dubai Island. Now understand, we are talking about a development where it will be adding 50 kilometers to the waterfront of Dubai, 26 kilometers to the beachfront. Yeah, it will have 9 marinas. Yeah, it's amazing. And it will have 86 hotels and resorts. It will be home to 37,500 families. Now that is what I call a ginormous project. Yeah, and who's developing it? None other than the indubitable master of the realm of the sea. We're talking about Nakheel, and I'm talking about the ripe opportunity which happens to be on the Island B. Now when I talk about Island B, it's totally different compared to Island A, where a lot of developers, boutique developers are developing. There are some splendid opportunities there as well. If you want a payment plan which is not very aggressive, you have easy payment plans as well. But what my focus in this video is to discuss what Nakheel is doing on Island B, because it is incredible. Island B had villas launched, somewhere earlier this year, and it was a resounding success, sold out on launch. This is a phenomena which only happens in Dubai, because if you look at the other countries of the world, if a project sells out in a month, it's supposed to be great. But in Dubai, if a project does not sell out at launch, people say, oh, it is slow moving. But come on, we're talking about 600 waterfront villas sold out on the day of the launch. So you can very well understand, when Nakheel launches a project on the waterfront, it is gone in 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm not even comparing it to the movie Gone in 60 seconds. This is gone in 30 seconds. Yeah. Now, Nakheel is coming up with a unique opportunity, okay? Low-lying buildings on the island B by the name of Bay Grove. All the interiors are done by Miras. When I talk about Miras and Nakheel, you can understand we're talking about a combination which is potent enough and holds the largest possible land bank in Dubai. Now, Miras will be doing the interiors for Bay Grove. Miras is boutique, bespoke. Their quality precedes their name. You know, whenever I see a Miras building, I am raring to go and have a look inside because I know that will be quality which no one else can replicate. Yeah. So, interiors by Miras, developed by Nakheel, low-rise buildings. You're talking about, entire development is low-rise. They've just launched 4 buildings as of now. Again, sold out at launch. The price per square foot is unbeatable. 2,000 dirhams per square foot represents the entry point into this community today. Now, be alert, be cautious because there will be more launches coming your way because Nakheel plans to bring the second phase up very soon. In total, there will be 8 more buildings launched here. So stay vigilant, stay in tune, and if you get an opportunity to invest in Bay Grove, then I can assure you, by entering into the waterfront at 2,000 dirhams per square foot, you are getting into an asset which will only grow. Because earlier I told you about the price per square foot on the waterfront of Dubai. Yeah, here we are talking about a project which is backed by the vision of the government, where the government is investing heavily on infrastructure. 5.3 billion dirhams alone spent on road connectivity. That speaks leaps and bounds. I'm not even talking about the cost of developing the project. Just park that thought on the side for the moment. The only outlay on infrastructure of developing roads to ease out the traffic, to bring these areas up to speed with the other parts of Dubai which have phenomenal infrastructure. So my advice and my opinion, Bay Grove in Dubai Islands by Nakheel represents a phenomenal opportunity. For more details on Bay Grove, feel free to connect with me. And now, we are on to our next phase where we will discuss the next infrastructure project and how, by investing in close proximity to this infrastructure project, you can draw the maximum possible benefits. So let's go and scour this location, assess it and analyze it. Yeah, let's go. Earlier in this video, we spoke about the metro and how the metro has impacted the prices appreciation-wise and the rental yields of the properties which were within 10 to 15 minutes and 15 minutes travel time from the metro. Okay. Now, there is another very interesting new project that is coming up. I'm sure some of you know about it. It's the Blue Metro Line. Okay. Now, the Blue Metro Line is a rapid transit link which will join the existing red and green metro line, and it will cater to at least 14 areas. There will be 14 stations along the Blue Metro Line which will span 30 kilometers. Yeah. So there will be 2 interchange stations where you can access the red and green line from. The red line interchange station will be on Center Point and the green line interchange station will be on the Creek station. Okay. Now, you can very well understand that if I'm talking about a metro project, the outlay from the government here is 18 billion dirhams. That's a lot of money the government is investing into creating this metro line, which will improve connectivity. It will give access to these areas and it will also help us attain our sustainability goals, because by doing public transport which can be shared by a lot of people, we will have less cars plying on the roads, and if there is less cars, there is less carbon. So it is also a move and an initiative towards sustainability and making Dubai the 20-minute city as per Vision 2040. Now, I do not want to sound like a stuck tape recorder and tell you that the CBRE report told you this. We already know, we've documented it. So moving on, my advice to you would be to invest around the Blue Metro Line. But a word of caution, if you're investing, as I have always been impressing on all of you, to invest in Dubai, target semi-government developers. Invest in communities as opposed to standalone buildings, because these will make sure that your investment is safe, secure, and it will not be susceptible to the phenomena of the market. So a semi-government developer or a government-backed developer and a community would be highly desirable. So my advice and my opinion about the projects which will benefit immensely in terms of connectivity from the Blue Metro line, then I'm going to give you a sneak peek on 2 projects which in my humble opinion will definitely be worth a lot. And an investment here is an investment into these projects at an early stage where you will be entering into these master plans still in a formative stage, and thereby you will have immense appreciation. And also your rental returns will be high in lieu of you entering at a formative stage. So let's go and explore these 2 projects. No points for guessing. The first project which will benefit the most from the announcement of the Blue Metro line is none other than Dubai Creek Harbour. Okay, now many times I hear from my clients, oh, Dubai Creek Harbour is very expensive. You know, in reality, this is only the start of a master plan which will span 7.3 square kilometers. Is huge. It is 3 times the size of downtown, and today it is only 20% ready. If the best of the best buildings in downtown are transacting at 5,500 dirhams per square foot, no points for guessing, I'm talking about address Skyview, then Dubai Creek Harbour, which today after its launch in 2015 is only transacting at 2,600 dirhams per square foot, will definitely give the existing downtown a run for its money. Now, why not Dubai Creek Harbour? Envisage a community with 700,000 square meters of open spaces and parks, 900,000 square meters of retail, 300,000 square meters of commercial spaces. This community, once fully completed, will boast 7 schools, 7 clinics, 2 hospitals, 24 hotels will grace Dubai Creek Harbour with their presence. I do not see any project which has all of this in one place. If you're looking about a vertical apartment living community, then Dubai Creek Harbour is the amalgamation of everything that a family would want to live in an apartment community. It is all encompassing. There is no product more complete than Dubai Creek Harbour today. Even it's in its formative stages, at 20% completion, you can very well look, what am I speaking about? This already is a flourishing community, and you're talking about Emaar. Their communities are cities within cities. So anything that you need today is already existing in the island district, and with Emaar almost done with launches in the Creek Beach, very soon we will have the projects being launched on the Creek mainland. Now, another important aspect about Dubai Creek Harbour is 2 major things which make it also very similar to downtown, which will be the upcoming announcement of the redesigned Creek Tower. Now, we've been hearing a lot of things about the redesigned Creek Tower, that it'll be the most elegant building in the world, it'll be the female version of Burj Khalifa. Well, we'll have to wait for Emaar to make the official announcements. What is it that this building would be like, and how is it that this would propel the prices of this community? And then the other important aspect which links Dubai Creek Harbour to downtown is the mall. Now, we are talking about a mall which has no reference points existing on the face of this earth. This mall will be so unique that I actually cannot sum it up in words. So rather wait from Emaar to come up with the more announcements about this mall. Then last but not the least, what intrigues me the most about Dubai Creek Harbour is the location itself. If you look at Dubai Creek Harbour today, the location is strategically located within 12 to 15 minutes dive time from 3 economic zones. I'm not talking about one economic zone. If you look at the existing economic zone, which is just across us on the other side of the water, we're talking about the business, commercial, financial hub of Dubai, that is downtown, Business Bay, DIFC, okay, 12 minutes away. On this side, we have the heritage hub of Dubai, which consists of areas like Bardubai, Karama, Deira, Satwa, which are largely leasehold, 15 minutes away. We are talking about the upcoming hub for knowledge, innovation and technology somewhere on that side, which is Dubai Silicon Oasis, an academic city only 15 minutes away from this location. So you can very well imagine what kind of a draw Dubai Creek Harbour would have eventually. So in my opinion, today at 2600 dirhams per square foot, Dubai Creek Harbour is a bargain. Why? Because in the future, the prices here will smash the existing prices in downtown, which today the best buildings in downtown are transacting at around 5500 dirhams per square foot. So invest in Dubai Creek Harbour. This is the new downtown taking shape. Probably it will be a more complete version of downtown. Imagine 3 metro stations within the community. And it's not only about the metro, this community has a lot going for it. So Dubai Creek Harbour gets my vote of confidence 100%. So now I will take you to the next community which I'm going to talk to you about, which will benefit immensely from the blue metro line, which is under construction and will be ready by 2029. So off we go to the next community. The second project that is going to benefit immensely from its location in close proximity to the upcoming blue metro line is none other than the Valley by Emaar, which is technically only 15 minutes away from the Silicon Oasis metro station. And in lieu of that, this community will definitely see its prices go up. Besides that, you are talking about a suburban family haven by a developer called Emaar. Okay, now Emaar's track record and legacy is impeccable. Yeah, they have done some of the best communities in Dubai, but let me tell you, all of those communities would fade or pale in comparison to the Valley. Why? Because even Emaar has not done a community which is so family centric like the Valley by Emaar. Now, if I were to talk to you about the Valley, I have done exhaustive videos on this, so have my colleagues. So I don't think so I'm going to bore you with too much information, which will be the same information. My idea is that this is a master plan with the eventual size is going to be 11 square kilometers. So technically we are in the phase 2 of the Valley, which has some stupendous opportunities as of today, which you can grab by the scruff of the neck. And in lieu of it's still being in its formative stages, where only one handover of Eden has happened. And if you look at what has happened in Eden, you can very well imagine how this master plan is going to unfold. Yeah. Now, class leading sizes, class leading plot sizes, and you have the best amenities in the entire Dubai real estate market. 400,000 square meters of amenities and much more to come. Now, important for you to understand, there is a very significant launch coming up in the Valley. Yeah. Now again, at this stage, we do not have too much information, but what I know that there is going to be something very significant launching in the Valley. So be prepared, because this master plan is going to get elevated by this launch. Now that means a hell of a lot. Why? This is on its own splendid. But to uplift this, the developer is coming up with a segment of realty, a villa segment of realty, which is actually very underserved. And I have been harking on this theme for a while since I started covering the Emaar projects. They are coming up with something which is very significant. So be alert. And you know, the Valley, the location is amazing. People definitely always think that Valley is far off, but the distance is in our minds, because the Valley today represents the only freehold community which is in close proximity to, again, 3 economic zones. 15 minutes from Silicon Oasis, 25 minutes from downtown and the business, commercial and financial hub of Dubai, and only 28 minutes away from the heritage hub of Dubai. So technically, this is a great location with some great launches lined up. So be very strategic about exploring options in the Valley, and explore options with the intent of actually investing in the Valley, because this will definitely take your investment to the next level. Now, the Blue Metro line also has a few other opportunities which will be noteworthy. You know, there are communities which are established. Silicon Oasis is a great community to be looking at. And if there is a sagacious developer, a renowned developer coming up with products there, then definitely you need to look into them as well. For more details, you can always reach out to us. We are happy to help. Now is the time that we turn the new leaf or see the new projects that are coming up, infrastructure projects where you can invest and make the most out of your investment decision, this is going to be stellar. So stay with me and I will show you what is the new infrastructure project and how you, by investing there, can make the most out of your investment decision. So let's go. I'm back in familiar surroundings of my office. I wanted to cover this part of the video from the venue itself, that is Al Maktoum Airport, but unfortunately we could not get the requisite permissions. So I thought in order to do justice to this, there is no better place but to tackle this from the comfort of my office. So here I am, and we're going to discuss the most significant infrastructure project, that is Al Maktoum Airport. No video on infrastructure would be complete without a noteworthy mention of Al Maktoum Airport. Now, in order to summarize this airport, I always keep going back to this statement from Sheikh Mohammed, which covers this completely and perfectly. He said, "We are not building the largest airport in the world. We are building the aviation capital of the world." Now, this has some connotation. We know that this airport today is the need of the hour. This airport was not conceptualized today, yesterday, day before, or a year ago. It was incepted in 2006. That was the time when Dubai came up with the plan of dual airport. This has been operational since 2010. Today, the capacity of this airport is around 27.5 million passengers. It is home to the busiest private jet terminal called JetX, 19,000 landings and takeoffs last year. Now, why do we really need this airport? Is this required? If you look at Dubai International Airport today, which is the busiest airport in the world, 88 million passengers last year. Their maximum capacity is 120 million. Now, understand, Dubai International Airport is home to Emirates Airlines. Now, Emirates Airlines has a fleet of around 269 aircrafts, another 125 in the pipeline, which will be handed over soon. The airport does not have hangars and gates to accommodate all of these. Okay, so this makes Al Maktoum Airport inevitable because very soon we will hit our maximum capacity. Now, in the earlier part of this video, I spoke about the unique geographical location of Dubai. Dubai is the logistical hub for the world today. It is the seaport to the world for the last 5 decades, airport to the world for the last 3 decades, and we want to maximize this. We want to make the best out of our geographical location, and that makes this airport all the more evident. Okay, so if I tell you today that the airline sector on its own contributed to 13.3% of Dubai's GDP, that's phenomenal. Okay, it creates 770,000 or it employs 770,000 people. That's astounding. Again, some very, very important and significant numbers. Airline business in Dubai is supposed to grow up by 170% by 2040. Okay, by 2037, another additional 101 million passengers will be using the airspace or using flights from or to Dubai. 101 million. This in turn will create 127 billion dirham or $127 billion of revenue, which will be a contribution to the GDP. So you can very well imagine that with all of this increase, this airport becomes all the more inevitable. Now, the size of this airport is astounding. 72 square kilometers, technically 35 times the size of downtown. Again, ginormous. Dubai, whenever it does something which is grand, where the world sits and takes notice of what Dubai is doing. And we don't believe in exaggeration, but this is required. So this 145 square kilometer land parcel, which is the home to Al Maktoum Airport, which I told you has been in inception since 2006, was all planned. So, it was planned that the Expo will be the exhibition district of this part of the south of Dubai. So, like you saw what a spectacle Dubai held in 2021 when the world was in lockdown in the Expo, 24 million visitors, a purpose-built city. So this is one of the zones which comprises the master plan of the south of Dubai. Then here is another residential district by another semi-government or a government-owned entity called Dubai South, a townhouse, villa and an apartment community. This is exactly the location. Yeah, that's the land parcel. Then here is the business park. So if you look at this business park, this is a peach of an opportunity for anyone to set up and establish their business. It is today ready and a free zone. So imagine 100% ownership, zero corporate tax, yeah, because you're in a free zone, full repartition. Technically, you don't even need an office because you can operate virtually. So imagine the benefits of this. Then this here is the logistical district. So if I talk about the logistical district, some of the biggest compliance centers in the world are operational out of this logistical district today. So you can talk about the IKEA compliance center, the Amazon compliance center. The list is long and exhaustive. I told you earlier, Dubai is the logistical hub of the world today. Yeah, imagine the contribution of logistics and transportation to Dubai's GDP is around 14%. That's a lot. 14% of our GDP comes from logistics and transportation. Then this right here happens to be the aviation district, which is also the home for Mohammed bin Rashid Aeronautical Hub. Okay, so the aviation district actually provides landside solutions to this airport. Okay, and in turn generates more revenue because here we deal with spare parts, we provide you with training solutions, and there are talks that there will be the largest maintenance hub for aircrafts in this very aviation districts. Because if you know, aircrafts when they need repair, they have to be either sent to US, Boeing, or Airbus goes to France. Here, we would tackle all of this in the region, yeah? Then right here, you have the golfing district, which is home to Emaar South, okay? Discovery Land, who are doing another golfing community, not an 18-hole championship, but a normal golfing community where you can buy only buy and whites. The starting size of a plot of land is $7.5 million. The cost of construction can go up to 2,500 dirhams per square foot. Then right next to this, Azizi is also doing a project called Azizi Venice. Then this happens to be the commercial district. So imagine 145 square kilometers of land parcel, which technically is the new Dubai that is being built in the south. Is this really required? Yes, it is. Because at the rate our population is growing, technically Dubai has been adding 1 million to its population every decade. In the worst of the times, we have done that. If you look at the post-pandemic, it started in 2019 until 2023, we added 9% to our population. If you look at the Vision 2040, we're supposed to double our population, but the rate at which we are going, I think we have already revised the figures. Now by 2026, we will be on 4 million. By 2033, the population will be 5.8 million and eventually 7.8 million by 2040, although there are some statistics which are saying that it could go up to 10 million as well. So we do need space to accommodate this increasing population. And if I were to tell you today, with 500,000 jobs created in this area, my simple mathematics of times 3 size of a family, you're looking at 1.5 million residents. Yeah. So I can tell you today that in the next 5 years, that by 2030, 1 in every 5 people will live in this part of Dubai. Now, earlier I discussed with you some of the projects that I believe in and that in my humble opinion, you can draw the maximum benefit by investing into. And all of these are in close proximity to Al Maktoum Airport. No points for guessing. I'm talking about Expo City. I'm talking about Heights Country Club and Wellness. I'm talking about Grand Polo, which are upcoming. Oasis, which will have phenomenal launches coming up. And then Emaar South is always there. So, my opinion, my advice, the south of Dubai is the future of Dubai. Imagine 10 years down the line when you are a resident or a visitor coming to Dubai. This is the Dubai that you will be seeing. Dubai will leave no stone unturned to make sure that they charm your socks off you once you set your foot outside of this airport. So if you happen to use Dubai International Airport today, when you step out, you're like, wow, you're gobsmacked that this city is truly amazing. that will be replicated on this side at a much bigger level. Yeah. So my advice, the south of Dubai, all roads lead to the south of Dubai. Now, we are at the fag end of this video. There is only one infrastructure project which I would like to touch up on, which again is very significant, very substantial. In fact, it is so significant that only 2 countries in this region have that infrastructure up and running. Not only 2, actually, there's only 1 country in the entire GCC. So that is a big statement. In the entire GCC, there is only 1 country that has this infrastructure up and running. So what is that infrastructure? Stay tuned and you will see what I'm talking about. Last but by no means the least, and I am at wit's end to understand why is it that none of my peers or contemporaries have covered this. I am talking about Etihad Rail. Now, railways or locomotives, as we used to call them back in the day, have an impact of driving economic growth. Yeah? I mean, if you look at the history, nations which boasted a rail network, they were catapulted to the pinnacle of development by the rail networks. Rail networks have an impact of improving connectivity, increasing accessibility. They can transport a large number of people over a long distance at a very economical cost. You know, imagine if there is 100 people using 100 cars, they all can accommodate into one train, and what kind of an impact it will have. Yeah, it reduces the traffic on the roads. And besides, when it comes to, transporting raw material or goods to distant and far-flung locations, there is nothing which is more economical and faster than railways. Yeah. So understand, the GCC, the Gulf countries, yeah, once the oil was discovered, they set about creating a huge amount of transformative infrastructure projects. Yeah. But the railways always eluded these countries for some reason. Today, besides the UAE, there is only 1 country which boasts a well-developed rail network, and I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. The UAE will be the only second GCC country which will boast a rail network. Yeah. So understand, today I am talking about a rail network which will stretch over 1200 kilometers, connecting all the 7 Emirates, and eventually we will be connected to Saudi Arabia and Oman, our next door neighbors and our strategic partners. Okay, the total outlay towards this project is 50 billion dirhams. Imagine what kind of connectivity improvement will happen and what kind of accessibility we will have. Today, it takes us almost an hour and a half to reach the capital. With this rail network operational, we can hit the capital in 50 minutes. Abu Dhabi to Fujairah will be done in only 1 hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, Dubai to Fujairah within 15 minutes. Those numbers, even though the Emirates boast some of the best road networks in the world, cannot be attained simply by traveling on road. It is only and only the railway that can give you this kind of speed and connectivity. Now coming back, also this rail network is going to help us to attain our sustainability goals. Imagine the fleet of trains operating on this network, okay? They will take off 5,600 lorries from our roads. Yeah? Imagine the impact of that. A fully laden train generates 80% less carbon dioxide compared to lorries carrying the same tonnage. You can very well understand what kind of an ecological impact this will have on our environment. 2.2 million tons of carbon dioxide emission will be reduced. That is equivalent to taking 375,000 trucks or lorries off our roads. That is phenomenal. It will help us attain our sustainability goals in a matter of years, okay? Or a decade rather, not years. Now, as of today, the fleet of trains that is operating or plying its trade on this route, the commercial or the freight aspect is fully operational. Yeah, so you have freight trains running across. Okay, the major focus as of now is on freight. So you can understand what I'm talking about. Getting the raw material, getting it to the industrial areas, and getting it to the ports. If I'm talking about Kizad, Khalifa Port or Port Jebel Ali. So the raw material transported to the industrial and the port areas, again, with no lorries, but the rail network, which is faster, more economical, and more environment friendly, because the world over, we are moving away from natural resources to renewable resources, and these trains are run on renewable energy. Now, the passenger routes will connect 11 cities. Okay, so there will be 11 cities that will be connected by the upcoming Etihad rail network. Yeah, 11 cities connected, and I told you earlier what kind of time saving we will have once this passenger network is also operational. By 2030, the Etihad rail is expected to cater up to 36.5 million passengers. Imagine the amount of revenue this rail network will generate for the Emirates. To sum up, Etihad Rail is going to propel the UAE to the next level, and you, by investing around the Etihad Rail, can have an investment which will only have one growth trajectory, which will be above and beyond. Knowledge is power. And I'm sure by now you lot feel evolved, because you are in privy of an investment strategy which has worked wonders for whoever has embraced it, accepted it, and applied it. What is the strategy? Invest in areas, upcoming areas where the government is investing to create infrastructure. Yeah. Or the other strategy which I spoke about, areas which are developed but need an infrastructure upgradation, where the government is upgrading the existing infrastructure. Thereby, in both the scenarios, you are entering into the location at the rock bottom, and with the location warming up, the infrastructure taking shape, your property will increase in value. This is a time-trodden investment mantra. People who have applied it today are the ones who are grinning from ear to ear. So apply this strategy. In case you need any more details, feel free to reach out to me. And by the way, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, like it, and follow our content. In case you have any doubts, feel free to reach out to me. This is Tarun saying sayonara until then.